the key to dealing with the shareholder proposal is one, be open-minded. That there should not be a feeling of immediate rejection, but there should also not be a feeling of a need to capitulate either.
Joining me today is Mike Schiffer, partner with Venable. Mike, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks, Matt.
Now, I'd like to start. What trends do you expect to emerge in terms of REIT M&A over the next, say, year or two?
I think that the trend for the next year will be much like we're in right now. The beginning of 2022 was very busy. The second half of 2022 was much slowed down. I expect that will continue through much of this year. Obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty in the market right now. I also think that, as others have commented, you see that valuations kind of need to settle. And I think you need to get to a place where potential sellers readjust their expectations of value, and buyers readjust their expectations of the way their own profit margins are going to line up with that based on cost of capital.
What would you say is the most pressing corporate governance issue that REITs are facing in 2023?
I think the most important governance issue now is really focusing on what are core business risks. More and more, there's been a plethora of things that are coming up as different things that people are really focused on. ESG, and other issues. But it's important that there's becoming a greater expectation that both boards and management have really evaluated what are the key risks for the business, and then put procedures in place to make sure they're mitigating those risks and monitoring those risks and following up on them. And I think that mindset is going to continue. And while, of course, it's important to focus on all of these other things, the recent clawback rules are finally in effect, so those are going to have to be addressed. There's additional ESG disclosure that'll have to be addressed, but everyone needs to focus on those while maintaining the most important focus, which is the key business risk for the business.
And lastly, shareholder activism continues to be an issue that all public companies face. What advice do you give to REIT boards in terms of dealing with shareholder proposals?
Sure. I think the key to dealing with the shareholder proposal is one, be open-minded. That there should not be a feeling of immediate rejection, but there should also not be a feeling of a need to capitulate either. And so I think that REIT boards need to be really focused on their overall sort of shareholder relations, because if good relations are maintained ongoing, then it's easier for the board to then convince key institutional shareholders why they should support the board in, for example, rejecting a shareholder proposal. I remember many years ago hearing a large institutional investor say that nothing was more annoying than getting the first call when there was a problem. So, I think, as we've heard for many years, I think shareholder engagement is just absolutely critical.